I forgot that when I left the Leeds Mapathon, I actually recorded my impression of it and an explanation. Um, so you can listen to that, and then I'll go into some mapping that I did to supplement the Street Complete stuff. Hi, I'm at Leeds University this morning and this afternoon. Been at a Mapathon, not been to Mapathon for a while, and this was a bit different to a normal one. So it was with Leeds Data Institute, which is great. They're doing loads of stuff with active travel, analysing that, but also just analysing the OpenStreetMap data, cleaning it up and providing it in other formats, so people like Active Travel England, Data for Transport, and anyone who wants. So yeah, they got lots of information. We started with a talk from me on what is OpenStreetMap. I went all over the place with that talk, talking about some of the history, where it's come from, why we do what we do, and why and how OpenStreetMap is free, and how the tagging's really wide and open. But yeah, then we heard from Active Travel, and they'd let me go over time, so there wasn't a lot to be done. Yeah, what else did we do? Oh, so they talked about that. Then we had our Mapathon, so I think there were about 12, 14 people at the whole event, so we divided into 4 groups, and we actually used apps. We didn't do traditional mapping because lots of the road network and lots of things have been mapped, but they want more detail. So those with iPhones used GoMap, which I think they struggle with because it's quite complicated. But they were trying to add drop curbs where the curb drops down from the pavement or sidewalk onto the road. Important for wheelchair users, prams, accessibility needs. The rest of us use StreetComplete, which is really helpful. It has its limitations, but it's a really good way into OpenStreetMap because lots of things have been mapped, but we don't have the data and the detail. So things like, if there's cycle parking, how many parking spaces there are, is it covered and sheltered from the rain, stuff like that. And it's very easy. It just asks a question and you answer them. There was a bit of a a bit of a team mode, which was really helpful because we're divided Leeds, or the area around us, into 4 sections. But as a group of 3, we walked out, did one of those sections, and we were getting the same question. So actually, StreetComplete has a really basic team mode, and so we use that, and that means that each of us get different questions, and it basically divides questions by the number of people. So we did that. I could tell you more about StreetComplete. I might show you some screenshots or an explanation. I've not got my microphone with me on my tripod, as you can realise from the shaking. So I might just do that somewhere else, probably back in Durham. I know people have issues with StreetComplete, but I think it's a good entry level, and this had the purpose of everyone could see, like, oh yeah, this is awesome, I want to do mapping, or I'm getting carried away with this. Look, I know this data is getting used, is important. How can I add more? And they're either going to use StreetComplete more focused on things and more in their areas, because we have people from Bradford, we have people from London, or they're going to go and learn the mapping. Someone else tried using OSMAnd and Vespucci for adding drop curbs, and so they were already on their way to learning more about editing OpenStreetMap. And what the guys with Active Travel are doing is really interesting from Leeds. I should put a link, if I can, there or in the description, because basically I think that's good. They did a talk in State of the Map in Florence back in the summer, and that's how we got talking, and said, yeah, I'll come to Leeds if you do a Mapathon, and they did it. So yeah, great. We did lots of editing. I don't think we did loads, but I think it was at starting, and it'll make people do more. I'm going to walk down to the station, and I've got some time, so I might just run StreetComplete while I do it. By now you've hopefully seen that I did a video re-giving that talk, What is OSM, that I gave to the people gathered at Leeds. I also did a video about what is StreetComplete and the demonstration, where you can follow me do that. But I kind of explained it's great for answering questions, but there's still bits, me knowing a mapper, there's bits that are missing. So while I was doing that StreetComplete Mapathon, I also had OSM and recording, which just records my track, or I have it set to record my track every 3 seconds. I can take photos of things that are missing. I have to remember how to record my screen here, because I've not done it for a while. Okay, so that should be recording now. I'll do a clap to sync it. And you'll see my map. You will see my hair's always messy. Now you should know by now. I'll keep the notes loaded. So yeah, the purple line's where I went, and I like Bing imagery for just a little bit of focus. Some photos from the event. So here we go. I'm going to need to zoom in. Yes, I expected. We kind of came out the door straight away, went around there. There is a note there. Someone added it using that. Traffic calm and crossing in place. So the crossing has actually been mapped. So we can tick that one off. Crossing has been mapped. We started here, we came here, and the first thing I noticed was this cycle parking, which would normally be mapped as a point. Actually, it's such a big area, you know what? It's probably better to map it like that. An amenity equals bicycle parking. And if someone had done that just really quickly, then OSMAnd might have asked them, is it covered? How many are there? As I could just leave it like this and wait for someone to do that, but let's go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And there's 12 hoops on that side. I'm going to say there's probably exactly the same. So that's 24, 2 each side. The capacity is 48, and covered, yes. I don't know if there's any other information. If there is, StreetComplete might ask it. And we walk down here. Why did I take a photo here? Oh, because there was a little residential road, although it was gated. Residential, access private, barrier, gate. Did I get the name of that? No, seems not. Oh, this was interesting here. So this was one of the cycling hoops, possibly also forming a bollard, but cycle parking. But I would not use it like that because it's so damaged. So we can do disused amenity bicycle parking
Don't know if that's recognised or shown, but I don't want to do amenity bicycle parking because someone might try and might get there thinking they can lock their bike up, and as I say, will not use it. Um, Description: Sheffield stand has been cut, so not chain bike to. Okay, and also using JOSM, it lets me see notes, which do. So someone added a drop curb there. I'm not sure how we. So there is a page on curbs, um, which gives all this information, and that seemed very important for those focusing on active travel. However, this drop curb, I'm not really sure where it's um, referencing. It could be referencing to get onto this path. Don't know. So I'm gonna leave that. There were some lumps of stone here. I don't know if they're art or playground, but we thought it were mapping them. Artwork type, form sculpture, material stone. Um, yeah, and then did we see any more? Oh, that was really cool, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm going to make sure that's mapped. Yeah, that was really cool. I don't. Is that? Is it a mosaic? It probably is actually, isn't it? It's a small one. Mosaic. Um, and I'll give it the name Kendall Lane. Um, don't know if it has a more specific name. It's got some history. Um, we can also make it clear it's part of the wall. Um, there's another note about the tactile pavement and drop curve, which, so although that's a note, you can add there, I think. Yeah, if it's unclear how to do it, we can do. So I've got no pictures, so I don't actually know. I'm gonna leave it. So don't. This doesn't say tactile pavement and lowered curve. So um, so we could do uh, curve lowered. Um, and we can do tactile paving. I think we just yes is the value for that. Yeah. Um, oh, that was another. I was obviously feeling like artwork needed to be mapped. This seemed to be a bush full of hanging masks. Was it? Is it a sculpture? It will be funny to map it as kind of an artwork. Um, Clearly, people in the hospital, in the uni hospital, aren't very good at disposing, or maybe patients aren't good at disposing of their masks. Um, and I think this was just a photo of the building, which I thought was cool. Um, then our second trip, so this doesn't know the location. So if I then correlate my GPX to the afternoon, group. You now know it's there. This had changed name, so actually Adam's Lodge is no more. Old name is Cafe in the Campus. Current name is Number 1 Grill. The FHRS ideals have changed. I'm not. It looked a bit like a cafe, but it also looked closed. I don't know if it's just a place that maybe does takeaway only. You know, someone local might be able to clarify that. We're just taking a photo of that. Maybe the highway service. Yeah. Oh, there's some bicycle parking there. See, so can go. Amenity bicycle parking. I can't see how much there is, but it will ask that question on StreetComplete. Oh, I need to download some more data. I don't cover the whole area. Yes, so that bridge was already mapped as such, and that's the service road. Yeah, for some reason I don't think it was mapped. And there's just some pictures of the event. So that's, I just did little bits. It actually wasn't as much as I thought, just 10 minutes back at the computer. I think that's all I did. Oh no, I think after the event I took some photos. Yeah, so actually let's recorrelate this again to now the after event one. So where was this? I've lost where I am now. There were some benches here. Bench, I was gonna film a little bit there. Actually, it was noisy, so I went elsewhere. It's quite tricky on all these levels in Leeds. You need to understand it right in the map. It probably needs someone with some micro mapping skills. We'll just find here. Sorry, information. Oh, what type is this? Information board. Board type. So maybe wildlife. Seems it more goes into the research they're doing there. No, it's 20. Oh, was that already mapped? Not sure what was mapping there. Yeah, so okay, that was it. That's all I mapped. Because actually, I did a lot of StreetComplete here. I hide that. And then I did some mapping, some StreetComplete here across the road, and tried to find somewhere to have a drink and a rest before getting the train home. I also did, as I say, did some StreetComplete that I filmed with my screen recorder. So I might add that in because I think that covers that there, and I think I did a bit more talking. If I have got that footage, I'll add it in at the end. But that's just additional mapping, StreetComplete and normal photo mapping complementing each other.